G'day you cheeky dogs, today we are breaking down the new Bluey minisode Alongside. There were so many hidden details in this episode, from British references like Harry Potter, James Bond, and the death of Queen Elizabeth, as well of course as all the hidden long dogs and the glaring differences in parenting styles between the Healers and the Beagles. But let me know down below if you are a Honey or Bluey style person. And while you're down there as well, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe button, and bell for notifications so you know whenever I release any other new Bluey videos. So let's start off then with the biggest update to the Blueyverse, and that's that Harry Potter is canon in it.
You're a wizard, Harry.
I'm a what?
In Honey's room, we see a broom and a wand up on the wall, and right underneath is a poster of Dogwarts, aka Hogwarts, with a very Harry Potter figure on it, flying a broom about to cast a spell. There's even a flag underneath of blue and yellow, clearly indicating that Honey is a Ravenclaw.
Would it be a wise Ravenclaw whose language you speak best?
However, I did initially think that this might have been a soccer pendant, as we do see Honey playing soccer in a blue and yellow uniform, again also very British. However, it does appear to signify Harry Potter, as Costa Kassab, who is the lead art director of Bluey, did put up on his Instagram some of the initial storyboards for this, and Honey wasn't always in Ravenclaw. He did initially have her in Gryffindor with a more maroon-based flag. So I am curious down below in the comment section what you think of this. Do you think Honey is more Gryffindor or more Ravenclaw? And of course, the Harry Potter details don't end there. There is also a white owl toy to represent Hedwig, and of course all the books on her shelf were confirmed again to be homages to the Harry Potter books. Honey's room did also have a few other details, one in particular that I couldn't quite pick out, which was this picture. But she does also have a globe that is pointed towards Australia, of course to represent where the show takes place. Even Honey's house itself is an homage to the British style, as it is the oldest style of house in Brisbane, being a late colonial style cottage house. And that does kind of make sense, as the first immigrants here from Europe were the Brits. The next major British reference was of course Honey's number plate being 007. "007, of course, is a reference to the most famous British spy, James Bond. But as for the Sam part of it, it's actually a reference to Sam Moore, who is British and the producer of Bluey, as well as the voice actor of Honey's mum, Daisy.
I'll just have a nice cup of tea and a piece of cake.
As I mentioned in the beginning, even the death of Queen Elizabeth was referenced in this episode, and that was done with Honey's letterbox being the number 96. This was the exact age that Queen Elizabeth was when she passed away. The letterboxes have always been little hidden details, with of course Chloe's one being the most obvious at 101, because of course she is a Dalmatian. But I do just really love that the details in this scene really just gave that homage to, again, Honey being very British, but also there was the really funny little detail of Honey holding her newspaper in her mouth like an actual dog. Even the food that Honey eats throughout the day is super British. The Cheerios being rebranded as Drearios was a very funny joke, and the typical British tomato and lettuce sandwich she has for lunch was again a nice little homage, but even more importantly, their dinner had a Yorkshire pudding on it, with gravy too, which could not be more British if you tried. Honey's house did also show some other little nods to British culture, with the copious amounts of teapot and display plates.
And make sure you leave the tea to stew for at least 2 minutes.
It's not stew, it's brew, and it should be for 3 minutes.
As well as the stereotypical veggie tea towel, and even a magnet from the UK up on the fridge holding up some Polaroids. This is actually where we can also spot some of our more traditional Easter eggs. There is a pineapple here as a magnet on the fridge, as well as a long dog magnet too. There is another long dog as well that can be spotted under Bluey's bedside table in the opening scenes. Of course, we have many tennis ball Easter eggs too. There was one underneath of Bluey's bed, as well as another one that she's playing with later in the day, one under the sunroom sofa, and of course the two that are always next to the front door. Even the music scenes with Honey were filled with little details, like the picture of the famous musician Bark up on the wall, which is also just like a really funny dog pun, like bark, bark, the dog.
Because I don't have a very good big bark.
Really? Show me.
So I do love that that's who they picked to put up on the wall. But also the sheet music that she's playing with her violin towards the end is actually London Bridge, as in London Bridge is falling down. I did also love seeing the busker make another appearance again, especially as Honey's music teacher, which actually parallels his voice actor and the head of music, Geoff Bush, in real life, who also teaches kids how to play the piano. The music in general was amazing, and it was done by Dan O'Brien, who made a very specific effort to create even hidden music details for music buffs on Reddit to pick up on as well. As for some of the other Australian references, the cereal box that Bluey is fighting over with her dad is an obvious parody to Fruit Loops, but instead of a toucan, it had an Aussie cassowary instead. We can also see Honey playing netball as the goal shooter, that's what GS stands for, and that is of course one of the most popular sports for girls in Australia. We also finally see Bingo playing mini hockey that had previously been referenced in Duck Cake and in Helicopter.
I have to take Bingo to mini hockey.
Oh, look! Mattel loves mini hockey too.
Some other Bluey-based references included seeing the puzzle pieces from Promises, the storybook from Unicourse, the hat from Sticky Gecko, as well as many Sticky Geckos.
I just need to deliver this.
Deliver what?
Sticky Gecko!
Oh no.
Hooray!
The crown from Queens, and also a drawing on the ground that I couldn't quite make out though.
For too long, Lucky's dad's palm tree has been dropping leaves into my kingdom. Well, no more by Tucatus!
We do also finally see the infamous fish pond again that was finally built in Trades, but this time it actually has koi fish in it. So perhaps we will have an episode of Bluey in the future about pets, as we do also see Honey with a pet too that looks a lot like a little guinea pig.
Dad,
What do you hillbillies want?
we want a pet.
What? Pets end up taking over the place. I've already got you two animals for that.
There was also one kind of animation error that I noticed. When they were driving down the exact same street to the lights, the buildings on the left side were completely different. The notice board on Bluey's side was different colors. It also showed a tattoo shop, whereas Honey's side had the regular one that we usually see with the pineapple on it in the background.
In case you didn't know as well, we do officially have Cheeky Dog memberships. There's a join button down below if you'd like to join. This way you get early access to every single one of my videos, as well as member-only live streams, member-only live chats, loyalty badges, discounts for my merch store, and so much more. So if you're interested in that, don't forget to hit that join button down below.
I do also have quite a lot to say about like the parenting styles that they show between Honey and Bluey and how that was reflected along the day, but I kind of want to save that for a bigger video because I think it's so important to show how both girls are so happy and so productive in their life, but obviously have two very different parenting styles and are both two very different types of girls. Overall though, this minisode for me was 5 out of 5 long dogs. So Cheeky Dogs, let me know down below what you would rate this episode as well out of 5 long dogs. Also, let me know in the comment section down below which of these hidden details was your favorite. And while you're down there, don't forget to hit all those buttons, the like, subscribe, and bell for notifications so you know whenever any other Blue videos come out. But until my next video, I have picked you Cheeky Dogs out, a few other videos that maybe you would like to watch, and I will see you all in another video. Bye!